Welcome in to the Bobby Carpenter Show, and we are here on this wonderful Tuesday. Normally we're joined by Bill Bender on Tuesday. He's going to join us later in the week. He's down in Charlotte at the ACC Media Days. The Big Ten Media Days Schlegs are going on down in Las Vegas right now. So you've got Ryan Day, Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs, and
Sonny
Styles. They're there.
I would suspect that would be the guy.
Yeah, I would think that those are the three guys they had. And, without a quarterback, you wonder, like, JJ's a sophomore. Usually you take juniors or seniors, but obviously one of the better players that you're going to find anywhere in college football. Caleb and Sonny kind of the leaders of that defense. But it's interesting, Sonny being the only senior of that group to do it. And the Big Ten, I think they limit you at 3. The Big 12 strikes, like their teams had 6 guys. You could take as many as you wanted, which
take them all.
In reality, you probably would like to have taken a Carson Hinsman or maybe an Austin Sareveld or someone like that, who's a veteran guy on the offensive line. I understand why they took the guys that they wanted to, and those are the people I think that a lot of people want to hear from, especially with JJ, Caleb, and Sonny. And so they're rolling along with that. And then with that, Schlegs, they a lot of news. You loved, like, Tony Petitti took the mic, which everybody's waiting to hear a lot out of him. Yeah, I was thinking on starting with the rankings, but I just stumbled into this little nugget that you put in there about some comments, about Michigan. And it's
Say it ain't so, Tony. I mean, he has my first name. He
does. Maybe you should start going by Tony more than Anthony. Your dad called you Freddie, but
side nugget, my dad, who was pissing in a cup because he broke his femur.
Yeah, how's that going? How's his recovery going?
He had surgery. They put a rod in his leg, and he's like, "Yeah, my knee's fine because it's metal." And my femur. Now he's been on oxygen, Bob. I mean, he's 80 years old.
Why is he on oxygen? Is he in space?
No, he can't. Like, he's having a hard time breathing. And I'm like, Dad, we got to get this fixed. We got to get in the weeds and figure this out. And I truly believe it's something. It's a blood thing, because there's not enough hemoglobin and oxygen in his blood. And I'm like, well, that's probably the cause of this. Let's get some doctors. And because of the femur break, he finally found this blood doctor. It's like, listen, I want you to be a patient of mine. So I'm like, great. I mean, so my dad has a lot of good things going on. Besides the fact that he broke his femur, maybe we can get this oxygen level figured out. And he's got a Dallas street dog named Frankie that he can go home to.
That's good. That's pretty remarkable. He's got a lot going on there. It's like,
he does got a lot going on. So Tony Petitti, tell me, what did he say, Bob? What did he say? What's that nugget?
Pull this up here. This was on 11 Warriors. Apparently wrote a letter. The NCAA on infractions, recommending no new penalties for Michigan's sign stealing scandal, which was uncovered during the 2023 season. According to a report from ESPN's Dan Wetzel, sources familiar with the case said the letter was read at the Wolverines' 2-day infractions committee hearing in June. Petitti himself did not attend the hearing because he was reportedly recovering from hip replacement surgery, Schleich. So, yeah, his hip. In the letter, Petitti argued that the Big Ten's 3-game suspension of then head coach Jim Harbaugh, including the Michigan-Ohio State matchup, constituted appropriate and sufficient punishment for the violation tied to the former staffer Connor Stallions. Your thoughts, Schleich?
I think that's asinine. I mean, there's way more into what transpired in there, what happened in the building, people on your staff, the things that they did. I think it's a bad. I turned my Doomajink off. I think it's a bad look for Tony Petitti. If you have the NCAA infraction, if they are the governing body, and that's what you say they are. Like, we all signed up for that, and they're doing an investigation. Let it play itself out. I don't know what you writing the letter to say that this is. Maybe he has all the information, and maybe it's one. I'd rather let the NCAA be the bad guy and not me try to, stomp for a team in the Big Ten. But that's also his job as the Big Ten commissioner. So I'm kind of mixed as a Buckeye fan. I'm like, why would you do that since they're the flag bearer every single year? But we'll see. What are your thoughts on it, Bob?
So it's interesting because Tony Petitti has a tough job. So we look at this through obviously the Ohio State lens.
Exactly. And I try not to be biased here.
And I remember, talking to Tony, like Ohio State got in the national championship, and he was like, "Man, we could have had 2 in there," because he's got to serve the whole group, for the group schlegs, as Jim Tressel used to always say. And so, as Ohio State fans, as much as you want them slammed, and you're thinking, okay, they should have this, and they should have a big monetary fine, and maybe lose some, like I've argued, like the loss of some of your revenue sharing model that you would be able to then put out. So forget about the scholarships. You can't pay the dudes like everybody else can. Well, that's going to obviously impact you in a big way. He's got to serve kind of what he views as the good of the whole conference. Is it good for the conference if Michigan is in a bad spot for the next 5 years? Probably not. As Ohio State fans, people love to see it. I wouldn't be upset if that's what they did. I'm with you. I think that was a little bit over the top. Maybe just let it play out. They did do something unprecedented and actually punish someone in season within the conference realm. And so that was something that had never been done before. So they did try to get ahead of it and try to go after it, in the present time, in 23 when it transpired. And now here's the thing, Schlegs, it's 23. Dude, we're like at the cusp of the 25 season. So this is the problem with the infractions committee and everything that goes on. It took so long to get to this point. People begin to lose their steam on it. And it's like, well, now we're punishing it. It's a couple years ago. Everybody's kind of gone. I understand where he's coming from, knowing that, hey, like USC hasn't been as good as we'd like. We're trying to make sure we're getting 4, maybe 5 teams in a 16-team CFP. And so we need to have viable options. Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. Then you start looking around and you're like, okay, if Michigan's not in that list and USC's not, well, I mean, I understand it's great that we have Illinois, popping up. You'd want to see Nebraska be on that list, Wisconsin diving in and out, Michigan State diving out, Washington could maybe be a part of it, but and those teams kind of rotate in those 4 and 5 spots. But you want to have, if you're the commissioner, the blue bloods be good and the blue bloods to be powerful. And you'd already had some of the stuff happen in Michigan. They weren't that great last year. You had a coaching change and all those things. So from his perspective, I look at it and I'm like, okay, Tony, I understand what you're doing. The letter, I think, was a bit much of saying, hey, they've already served their crime. It's all good now. I don't know if you needed to do that because this isn't just an Ohio State thing. They were doing this with everyone else. And so it's not like you're just appeasing Ohio State fans. I mean, Graciano at Rutgers was furious about it. The Michigan State, everybody knew that this was going on. And they started tipping the Big Ten to this and alerting them to that. Graciano he's even said at the halftime, there's some funny stuff going on over here. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. And kind of alluding to what was going on. So this isn't just something where you would just have to appease Ohio State fans. I mean, there were 13 other teams in the conference at the time, and they'd all been playing Michigan for the most part, and they knew what was going down, and they didn't like it. And so he has to try to balance, the upon the conduct of the few will determine the fate of us all. Like, how strong do you really want the conference? And having a strong conference is going to be having Michigan be good. And if you smack them and knock them back 5 years, is that good for the whole in totality? Probably not good for the conference, but they put themselves in that situation where they were taking advantage, not just of Ohio State, but of all of these other teams who they want their pound of flesh as well.
I remember when Ryan Day first became the interim head coach with Urban's offense and everything that transpired there on accusations. I mean, we're talking about, sign stealing and other violations. So that did happen, Bob. Like he was suspended in season for 3 games. I think somebody threw in the chat that Harbaugh was literally just suspended, could work the week and was suspended for the game. So he could actually coach during the week. And let's not kid ourselves, guys. Being suspended from practice is actually more than being suspended from the game if you're the head coach, because everything that goes in to the game all happens throughout the week of practice.
Yeah.
So he was able to be there during that entire time. My only point on this And somebody even wrote on there, was there even a letter? Like people were just reporting that there was one. Like nobody's ever seen it. But it's just the point of we're already down the road. And they've already been going to great lengths for over 2 years about what transpired. And again, this goes into, do you know what goes on in your building where you have a federal case, employees being able to get into other people's personal information while in your building, and then a firing of a linebacker coach in the middle of the season. Guys, that stuff does not happen. It does not happen. And so there's so many other things. And again, we're not privy to all the information. And that's why I'm like, it's just weird to come out and say that, though knowing that, yes, we want as many teams in the Big Ten to be as good as they possibly can be for the totality of our conference being the best in America. I understand that. However, we're getting so close to the end. Why was that be appropriate to even put yourself or your name on a letter stating something that you didn't need to do? That was my only point, especially going into the Big Ten Media Week.
Yeah, I get that. Like that. Here's the thing, and I don't know if he thought that might not become public. I mean, everything you do in 2025, Schlags, you have to act as if that's going to be seen by the entirety of the country. Like that's the way you've got to operate. There's nothing you can do under the cloak of darkness that will not be drug into the light. Like that's just going to happen. And so there's a reality and an understanding of, hey, if you thought you were going to like have this letter sent in, and you know what, if he, and like people are like, did he really write a letter or whatever? Well, he had hip surgery, so that's why he wasn't there. Or else he probably would have been there in person to read this statement, you know, when they asked them about it. And the difference is, like, the suspension from Urban, I think, came from the school. Like, that was an internal.
That was an internal one.
That was.
You know what? You know what? You're right. It was.
Yeah.
It was. You're right, Bob. Now I go back to, I remember some of those hard combos. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That was self-imposed. That was self-imposed.
And that's why Urban was so upset about it, is because it came from inside the building and inside that situation. So
the athletic department.
Yes. And so that's why it wasn't something handed out, an edict where, like, plus you could still coach during the week and all that nonsense. I mean, dude, he was out of there, and, you know, it was reported that, you know, Drake wanted him fired and all this other stuff. Just complete and utter nonsense. Like, yeah, there's some things that happen. He's talking to the right people. But the problem with this Michigan thing too, Schlags, is, like you said, it wasn't just the fact that it happened. It's the massive cover-up that also ensued of how they tried to cover their tracks and everything else that transpired. The cover-up's generally worse than the crime. Well, in this case, the crimes were pretty bad, especially we start talking about having an employee that's diving into people's personal information and everything else, student athletes and students alike across the country. But like you said, the firings and Jim trying to distance himself, and hey, we didn't know about. And listen, man, there's evidence to the contrary. And by the way, they still haven't addressed the fact that he was on Connor Stein was on
Central Michigan
sidelines, videoing with the meta glasses that I'm going to go put on here in a second during the break, because that's ridiculous. Like that needs to be addressed, and that needs to be saying if this happens and anyone else that's affiliated with, dude, you're done. Like, it's donezo. Like, that can't, both teams, the people that are allowing it to happen on their sideline and the people that are traveling over there to do it, because that you cannot have that.
No. What staff was that coach on? The head coach there.
Yes.
He was on Michigan staff.
100%.
Right? So it's like, hey, man, we're just helping. Hey, we're just guys being dudes helping other dudes do things, you know, come on over. Nobody's going to know. Oh, there he is. Meta glasses. Anyways, it's just chaos. And again, it's just bad timing when I say that, like, this comes out now, because you have Big Ten Media Days. If there's one thing we don't want to be talking about, it's this. We want to be talking about 2025. We want to be talking about the best conference in college football in the Big Ten. We want to be talking about people up and coming, what USC is going to do this year, what Washington is going to, are they going to be able to be back? Can Oregon sustain, win it again, win the Big Ten again? Are they going to go deeper in the playoff? What about Ohio State quarterback situation, new defensive coordinator? Like, those are the things people want to talk about. Who's going to be the quarterback of Michigan? Is it going to be Underwood? Like, what are they going to look like? That's what we want to be talking about, not about this. And that's just why, as the Big Ten commissioner, you would think, hey, and again, it's going to come out during this time because people want to talk about it. But did you really even need to say anything in the first place? And that goes back – that's the original statement.
And I think that's it. Like, did we really need to make that statement? You weren't there. And even if you were, you probably didn't need to speak for or against Michigan and what they were doing, because you have other conference members that are probably very upset, and rightfully so, about what was going on. I mean, that was when Central Michigan was playing Michigan State, correct? I think. Yeah.
Yes.
If you're Michigan State, like, how are you feeling about that? There's a dude that was on the sideline with video recording equipment, filming our stuff, and now it's like, poof, David Copperfield, like 3 games. I mean, that needs to be addressed. That needs to talk about. Like, there are certain things that are within the realm of competitive advantage that should not be occurring anymore. It's no different if they found like some Central Michigan filming their coach. Like, they don't do that stuff. So, all right. Enough on that. We got a lot of other news coming out of Big Ten Media Days and the things that are going on over there. We'll dive into all that here for the rest of the show. I want to tell you this: parents and athletes, protect what matters most with Export mouthguards, trusted by professional athletes and designed by NHL team dentists. Export mouthguards feature 3 layers of advanced protection to help absorb those high-impact hits, protecting both your teeth and your brain. They 3D print that bad boy right to your grill for more protection, better performance, max comfort, and clear communication. So you can focus on your game, not on your gear. Don't take chances with your safety. Visit exportguards.com/Bobby today and save 15% on your order. Export, protect what matters most. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
Welcome back to the Bobby Carpenter Show. And I mean, I'm not a very sensitive guy, but I mean, I do take umbrage with our guy Mike Ferguson in the chat saying it looked like I slept in a truck bed last night. I mean,
Mike, you guys don't be knowing our lives, Mike. Mike, our lives are chaos, bro.
Listen, I got a fresh shower this morning. I haven't worked out yet today. Usually I get up, work out, but I'm on vacation. We're down here at our place in the Ohio River. Schleich thinks, hey,
you do look tan. You do look tan.
And hair's looking nice and blonde, getting a lot of sun.
Yeah. Come on, Mike. Look at the positives. Look how tan he is. Look how blonde his hair is.
Yeah.
Guy's got ready to run 20-half gassers on August 1st.
Yeah, so I have it shaved. That's why. I mean, I usually shave.
That's why.
2 to 3 days. So this is a little bit coming in. I don't have a razor down here, so I'm probably going to be rocking this. It's going to get progressively worse throughout the week, and it's only Tuesday right now. Yeah. So
hey, Mike, don't be throwing him like that. Like he was sleeping in a truck bed, like that picture he showed of me at one time. You can't do that to the man. Hey, listen, you guys out there, I want to tell you something. Bob and I enjoy doing this show together. Our lives are absolute chaos, and we carve out and do research, and our group chat is super juicy and fun. But sometimes we're going to be absolutely chaotic. Okay. That's called life. That's called guys being dudes with wives and kids and running stuff. And we're just here to bring you just authentic content all the time, the way we are. Just love us.
Yeah. And so, I'm
like,
workout in. I work out like it's like a Rocky Ford gym. We got this barn beside our house, like no air movement at all in there.
The best.
And it is like a sweat box. I even have the door open, but there's no breeze, the garage door, there's no breeze that gets in. So, oh no, that's what crap. She went to Lowe's. I needed to get these bolts to put together the Doomajig, the cable fly that we were talking about. And my dad, there you go. Yeah. It's on fire. I mean, it's a dynamic mic. So when you play that in there, it's not going to pick you up anymore. but
okay.
got a little heart's on fire. But yeah, I need crap. She went to Lowe's and I meant to tell her to get these bolts. I needed to go because I need to get those bolts because I want to put together my cable flashlight so I can get the PEX popping here today and get that rolling. So I got to measure to see how long they are and bring a piece to make sure I can get them to be able to be threaded through there and try to fit since my dad somehow lost them. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But
it happens.
Swallowed.
Where are we going? Where do you want to go? So many juicy nuggets.
Well, I swallowed a bug.
You swallowed a bug. You're over there sitting at the Woody Hayes with James Laurinaitis and AJ Hawk looking over you, and you just swallowed a bug.
Sorry about that. It's like I got a little extra soreness. I normally just do like the machine rows at the Woody, but down here I got I got my power blocks and I did like just 100 we used to call them cranks, like the dumbbell rows.
Yeah.
10 at a time each side, going back and forth, supersetting them with some squats in this little squat machine that they had at the Woody back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you would remember.
That was a bear squat. That was a bear squat machine.
Well, it's not the bear one that we have. This is one that has two. You load it with plates the same way, but it looks kind of like a squat rack. You step in and it rides up and down, but it had the instability plate below it that you would be able to.
It sounds terrible. Yeah.
Almost like a core board. Yeah. So I was only doing like 185 on there because the back and forth. Yeah. So it was good. It was a nice little change up going back and forth. But my lower traps, upper back are pretty sore from that. But it feels good just doing something different that I haven't done in a long time. Getting that goal. Then I'm going to have to go outside and I got to figure out how to get some running in to simulate these halves that about 10 days from now.
They're coming up, buddy. Hey, Buttercup, I got my stopwatch over here. I got a whistle. Do I need a whistle or do I just need to say time? I think I need the whistle. I'll bring out the whistle.
I don't need a whistle. When you're counting, it'll be 5. You count the stuff, and then you just say hit. I mean, do they blow a whistle to go? Is that what they do?
100%. 100%. You blow the whistle.
I'm
not. You know what? I can't do it because they're practicing.
That's what I was going to say.
They're like, hey, what is this freaking whistle over there? And I'd be like, hey, I'm a consultant because that's what I do.
Hey,
I don't care about anybody.
Come over here and fight me.
Keenan,
come fight me.
You want to fight me? You want to take this whistle?
Oh,
you might die.
The best part is after we're done, because they'll probably be like right in the thick of practice at that point. We'll go over there and watch individual with James, and he'll just laugh and make fun of us as I'm be super sweaty and my back's going to be killing me after that. But yeah, that'll be fun. But I got to figure out a way to simulate. I've got kind of a little hill driveway, so maybe get after that a little bit, run some of those, and I just got to start getting the volume up. I try not to run too much on the concrete because it's a bumpy situation.
You're old and wrinkly. It looks like you slept in a truck bed.
That's so. By the way, man, that was hurtful. Like, I mean,
God bless you guys.
Woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed this morning. You know what I did last night, Schleich?
Hardy wrote a song about that, waking up in his truck bed.
You know what you're gonna love last night, and we'll get to some great stuff here in a minute with some more stuff in media days. But I know you're a huge fan of this. Folks, the outdoor television is like one of the elite things. The problem is it's a hard place to find one to hang. So I've had this TV that I bought down here for a long time, about a year, and I finally got a rack or a stand that I can wheel it in and out, and we can just put it in a little shed in the back of our garage. We got 65-inch Amazon Fire TV. I bought on Prime Day last year. Been waiting for it. Yeah, and so I finally got this stand that I got on Prime Day this year that was on sale. You can wheel it in and out. I couldn't get my sound bar to work with it, but I did get it to come into my other Amazon speakers. But last night, got a fire going, and one of my buddies loves Magua. He has a shirt that we got him, and I watched Last of the Mohicans last night, outside with RJ. Yeah,
I'm so jealous. How about outside with a fire?
Yeah,
on the river.
On the river, dude.
Watching Last of the Mohicans. That sounds epic. I need to do that. I need to look into how I can make that happen for myself.
Yeah, I'll get you. I'll show you the stand that I got. It's great. It's got some wheels, a little thing, put a little sound bar under it. Because people don't realize with speakers, the flat screens, the speakers are on the back and they echo off the wall. So if it's not against anything, it has a real hard time getting loud for you outside. And so you get a little sound bar for like $60-$80. I think I got mine. Boom, throw the sound in your face. But you sit there. I felt like when like they're in the canoes getting ready to ride over there. I just wanted to go hop on the river and go try to escape the Huron in Magua, and join the Mohawk tribe so we could go fight them again. More.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, when I want to, sometimes, guys, just so you guys know a little bit about us as we just talked to you randomly, there will be days where I literally will just work out for 45 minutes to that song.
Yeah.
I just go. And I literally, it's like, and when I talk about like working out, I'm talking about like eating heavy doses of iron while I do it. And every time I go back to Metroflex Gym in Arlington, Texas, and I deadlift, Brian, who's 70 years old now, we'll deadlift together. And we literally just jam out and lift heavy weights to that song on repeat. Everybody in there just kind of looks at us and they don't say anything because my jersey's on the wall and he's the owner. And we're just older dudes lifting heavy weights to last Mohegans. Like, what's better than that? Honestly, could be the perfect day.
That might be my song when I do the Gasser test. Like, we just might have that over. Because honestly, the thing that I hear when I hear that song, I envision Daniel Day-Lewis just sprinting along the side of that mountain.
Remember, that's when he shot the captain who said, take her, right? And then he goes and he shoots him. And then his brother was running up. He ends up getting killed. And then the dad comes in, finished the job. What a great – oh, man. I need to go watch that.
They're on a dead sprint. They've got like the packs. They've got rifles and the bone sword in the other hand. And they're just sprinting through the Adirondacks up there in New York trying to get there to the spot to where you can catch them. And then the sister jumps off the mountain because she realizes life with Maga would be terrible. And he just shrugs his shoulders and walks away. Doesn't care. But it's like that's it, because when you're literally sprinting to try to save your life or someone else's, or in the case of the major, I think it was, put him out of his misery from burning alive. And I remember when I asked my dad, why did he shoot him? And he's like, it's going to probably take him 25 minutes to die. I would rather just take one right to the head. And by the way, Schlegs, how about the sniper that he was with that muzzle loader, dude? Just boom, boom, running.
Probably was a Hawken. I think it was a Hawken muzzle loader, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty remarkable. And then the other great part is when he's running along, I don't know if it's his brother or him, where he has the double muzzle loader, two dudes.
That was him.
Shoots them both. I'm like, come on.
Picks one up, boom. Yeah, drops one, he keeps his, right? Picked one up, shot them both, kept running. Yeah,
because it's loaded and ready to go. So, Buckeyes, we got some news, though, coming here with lawsuits, NCAA, Terrell Pryor, and some of the stuff that's going on with him. Maybe trying to pick up a little cash. We'll give you all the details on that. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Backer, the premium Buckeye brand for premium Buckeye fans. They found it to make the best quality fan gear you can find. The wind gear, the cold gear, the rain gear, it's all elite. It's got all the features you're looking for. It's going to take care of you. We're right on the cusp of the season. That windbreaker is going to come in handy in September. You're going to need the cold gear later in the year, and rain gear all the time. Always be gas station ready. Use promo code Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, all caps at checkout, and that's Backer, bckr.com. Go check it out, bckr.com. They do a great job for you there. All right, coming up next, we're going to dive into a little bit of this Terrell Pryor news, Schlegs, and hear if his lawsuit is going anywhere, or maybe if it's going by the wayside. Find out next on the Bobby Carpenter Show. Hi, Schlegs. So former Ohio State quarterback Terrell Pryor filed a lawsuit against Ohio State, the Big Ten, the NCAA. Pryor was seeking compensation for name, image, and likeness from his college career. A report via The Athletic says his lawsuit was dismissed because Ohio State is covered by sovereign immunity. In addition, Pryor's claims were made outside of the 4-year statute of limitations on the antitrust lawsuit. Mr. Pryor failed to assert the claims for an injunctive relief with the 4-year statutory period and makes no argument to refute the presumption that allowing his claims to proceed would be unreasonable prejudice and prejudicial to the defendants, Judge Sarah D. Morrison wrote. So with the House settlement, Schlegs, they were going back, and their dudes, they're getting nice checks from 2015 on If you played in 2015 at a big school, you're probably getting, I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, Schlegs, for some of these like six figure situation, like not crazy hundreds, but like over $100,000. And so that's awesome for those guys. It's part of the settlement. Well, Trill played prior to that, and prior,
no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. But he falls outside of the limit for the statute of limitations. It's the law. It's what it is. Pryor argued in his lawsuit that he would have been one of the highest paid collegiate athletes in the country if he had been allowed to earn NIL. Hey, congratulations. You know what? Who could say the same thing? Reggie Bush. You know who could probably say the same thing? You know, Marshall Falk, or, you know, pick Barry Sanders from back. Pick your Earl.
You and AJ. I mean, like
pick your.
The bad thing is, Bob, is what you're trying to tell me is that we can't go back. And all I was like, you know what? I already got it. I go to Vance's. You know, that's it. I go to Scarlet, right? Like, we're Buckeyes. I can go into the Woody. I'm good. But hey, all I know now, I can't go back. So day late and $1 short, as what they is.
Well,
you are they say.
Maybe more than just a day late, a couple of years late there. And you know what? And it's a conversation that I was having with someone else the other day about this. And you know, they asked, you know, me like, gosh, think how much money you would have made. I'm like, you know, I try to keep that in perspective of like, hey, there are things that we got to do in college. And folks, we gave you a little peek behind the window with some of Schlegs' pictures in that truck bed. But I go, there were things that I did in college that I don't know if you could put a price tag on. And the memories of those times, those things are far more special to me than if I would have had another couple $100,000 in my pocket, which I probably would have blown anyway. And by the way, you wouldn't have been able to do some of that fun stuff because these guys, they live in a different time and their live Schlegs are heavily detailed and monitored more so than ours ever were.
Oh, yeah.
So,
oh, my gosh.
Could
you imagine, Bob, if we had the phones with the cameras on them back then? It would have been a nightmare.
I remember my final when James and Hart were seniors and coming back and hanging out with those guys a little bit, and people were starting to film stuff in the bar when we would go out. And I'm like, this doesn't seem very good. But that was before Twitter. Like, there wasn't like a vehicle that you could just instantly shoot it and everybody would see it across the country, across the world. So there wasn't those vehicles. But you know, I try to say like I'd be nice to have a couple $100,000. I'm not being wrong with that, but I wouldn't trade that for the opportunities and experiences and memories we had. And then I also try to say part and parcel with that, you know, my dad played in the 70s and 80s. And the NFLPA, they went back in the New Deal and they gave everybody, brought a lot of the older players up with their pensions and tried to help them out and get them in a good spot. Because of that, my dad's in a really good spot with retirement. And I'm glad that they did that. And that's what those guys deserved. But people would always tell my dad, like, man, like, think of all the money these guys are making now. That could have been you and this and that. And he always would say, he's like, that's great for them. Like, I'm not going to be bitter about it. They're like, you guys had lockouts and strikes and all this stuff. He's like, yeah, that's all part of it. And the game's in a great place right now. And I'm happy for those guys. Comparison, Schlegs, is the thief of joy. And so by you sitting there comparing your life, oh, if I would have had this, I would have had that, or we didn't get this when we played. And like, you like to bring it up and make jokes about it and the grievance police, but man, I'm not gonna live on that. Like, I'm not gonna live like this. Go back and like, man, I'm gonna go back and try to get some money now from that. No, we had our time. Our time was done. It's over. It's on to the next guys. The circus doesn't stay in town forever, as Bill Parcells would always tell us. And just, dude, you know, when the big top tent moves, sometimes you ain't moving with it. And that's going to move on and be happy for the situation you had. We had a great college experience, man. A lot of great opportunities, a lot of good things happened in the NFL, just like my dad had. And so he wasn't going to sit there and say, man, I wish I was making, $20 million like these guys make today. Yeah, it'd be nice, but man, like, you're going to sit there and just live in that place. You're going to be living in a pile of misery. And like, that's going to stink. And so, like, who wants to sit there and live on just the what ifs and what you should have got that you didn't and all these other things, man? Like, that's not life. It's not reality.
Get busy living or get busy dying, man. We LIVIN. You know what I mean? Buckeyes.
100%. That's it. And so, dude, you turn the page, like Bob Seger said, and you go on to the next, man.
Keep going.
All alone that Lonesome Highway east of Omaha, Schlegs, listen to those engines roar. But
I just pull that up right here on my playlist.
Absolutely.
I like it, man. We're just jamming all the good stuff today, man. All the references are out there. And by the way, in the group chat, I love you guys. You guys are amazing.
Oh, okay.
That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. No, I don't know how to put a period at the end of stuff.
Period and dot. Hey, awesome time like that. Here we go. We got some news for you coming out. Speaking of contracts, some good news for a Buckeye running back getting his deal done and how that's going to look with the New England Patriots. Give you the details coming up next.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
All right, Schlegs, I want to tell you about our friends over at Lake Spur Marketing. They pride themselves on delivering powerful and positive results. They're a full transparency marketing agency. They're going to be with you, walk with you every single step of the way. They're in constant communication with their clients. At Lake Spur Marketing, there isn't a set it and forget it strategy. It's not one size fits all. Their tactics are going to be customized to your needs within your industry. Trust the experts. Trust Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in their partners. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today. Travion Henderson, got him on the show. One of the great guys you're going to find, and watching his, for lack of a better term, his metamorphosis at Ohio State was nothing short of remarkable, and gets drafted in the second round by the New England Patriots. And awesome to see, as per Adam Schefter reporting, signed a 4-year deal worth just over $11 million. Fully guaranteed. Includes about 4.74 in signing bonus. He's the 18th player from the second round to sign this quick 2-day window. And he was only the 5th to secure a fully guaranteed contract. The 4 players drafted ahead of him to receive similar terms were Browns linebacker Carl Schweisinger, Houston wide receiver Jaden Higgins, Seattle's safety Nick Anamoria. I didn't butcher this.
Onomatopoeia.
Of course. And then Miami Dolphins guard Josh Ciavia. So it's awesome to see that. Am I sitting here like saying, hey, I got a similar deal like that. I was the 18th pick in the draft 20 years ago. Mine wasn't fully guaranteed. Bonus money was a little more. But I'm so happy for Trey. That's $11 million that he's going to get. And I always will tell people, money and power only make you more of what you already are. And thankfully for Trey, he is in a great spot right now. He's a great human being, and he's a guy that is going to want to live up to every dollar of that guaranteed deal. That will only encourage him and incentivize him to work harder. Some guys, Schlegs, you get the guaranteed deal. Hey, you throw your feet up on the couch. Hey, it's going to be here. Maybe I don't work as hard, but that will not be the case for one Travion Henderson.
Well, I'll put in when you are okay. Mike Vrabel's the head football coach. They're looking at all the variables with Travion. They're talking to all the people that have known him before, what type of person that he is currently as he walks in the building as a New England Patriot. They're like, this is a bona fide dude. We know exactly where he fits. He's somebody that we can build a franchise around, along with the starting offensive lineman that they got from LSU that they speak very highly of, who has the same type of mentality that Trey does, that we over me team mentality that Braves wants to bring back to the Patriots. You're like, yeah, I feel good about giving this guy guaranteed money. Here's the other thing. This bodes so well for the value proposition that is Ohio State football, more than anything else. It is the fact that, look at this guy, highly recruited, played here, split time with a guy that we talked to him. We had dialogue and said, do you want to bring this guy in? Through competitive excellence, this guy is like, bring whoever you want in. Let's make it happen. It's for the betterment of the team. Let's go. Best duo running back in college football. Guy gets drafted in the second round. and walks away with a guaranteed. You're like, okay, well, now we're going to bring a guy in. Oh, I got to go to greener pastures. They might give me a little bit more in NIL money. Are you going to get that? And I didn't get the wear and tear on my body of having to be the premier back. But you go to the premier school, and in year one, you're walking away with guaranteed money. And if you would have transferred new strength staff, new coaching staff, new offense, new competition, all of those things, total variables that you don't know. Oh, I'm going to bet on me. Are you going to get that? And you bet on you by being here and being developed. Coach Locke, way to go. Competitive excellence, way to go. Ryan Day, way to go. This just sells the value proposition of Ohio State and what they want to be about as they go through this NIL process of how they divvy out the cash that they have.
Oh my gosh, Legs!
I've got
a nugget for you that Pat just sent over. We're going to get to this. We got any questions in tailgate talk? Throw them out there. We've got that coming up next. And
he sent you a nugget outside of me.
You might be there. We're going to pull it up. Hey, Pat, get the picture ready. We got that coming up next here on the Bobby Carpenter Show. All right, Schleg. So there was a tweet. Did you see it, or is this going to be fresh for you?
I don't know. Just say it. I don't know.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
So there was a tweet that came out from Swish Vibes. It says, "What's your favorite Ohio State football picture of all time?" And Pat, you can throw it up. This is one of my favorites. I don't have very many pictures. I don't know if I have any pictures of myself, like just me hanging up in the house. Most of the pictures I have are either you and AJ or you. There's one with James and stuff like that. And so that said legends. Great. Taking care of that on the social media. I don't know if you went in there and posted it for yourself. Maybe Pat did. And then the one of the responses underneath it is amazing.
I sure in heck didn't put that picture in there. I don't ever post pictures.
Sports. Did Anthony Schlegel actually earn a starting spot, or was it given to him by that idiot Luke Fickell because they were the two biggest idiots in that building?
Maybe. Hey, go up. Where did that comment just come from? What spurred that hate?
By the way,
off, my name is legal. I mean,
Schlegel Valley.
Yeah, no. I don't even know how to have a rebuttal.
Believe me. By the way, Fick catching a stray in that is also amazing.
Yeah.
Not pictured Luke Fickell just getting some shade thrown at him as well.
Yeah. I like how he put the at Luke Fickell. Why didn't he put at Schlegel Valley in there? Because he doesn't know that name came from Schlegel Valley from the Players Club soundtrack in the 90s. Yeah, you're welcome for that one, DeSoto High School. I don't know. I don't have any rebuttal. I just grind, man. I just work.
But it's just so amazing that
I like to see why I'm an idiot.
That's 20.
I don't think I'm an idiot.
Well, I don't know why you would think Fick is an idiot, dude. Fick took Cincinnati. Like, they've shown a little Wisconsin, but dude, he took Cincinnati to a CFP berth. I mean, come on, put some respect on the guy's name.
Pat, that was me. Pat, the way to go. You threw that out there, just try to light some fire. I appreciate that you guys like that one. Thanks, Pat.
Yeah,
it's a great comment. You know what? Hey, guess what? It doesn't offend me. Hey, if you think I'm a bit, it doesn't offend me. I probably am.
You're like AJ Hawk. I choose not to be offended.
I don't.
Offense is a choice. I want to choose not to be offended by that ridiculous comment.
All I know is people are messy. I'm messy.
20 years ago, I mean, that's what we're talking about. It's 2005. And on top of it, who else did they want to have playing? Like, that's one question. Who's the solution that they had there? I mean,
we had Mike D and we had Kerr.
Kerr, I mean, maybe
James was a freshman.
Marcus
was a sophomore.
He got redshirted that year because he scoped his knee and got the MRSA.
That's right.
So
That's right.
He was redshirted our senior year. That's why then James became my backup, and then Marcus and James played the next year. But like, there was no one else on that roster.
I mean, honestly, they just threw me out there because I was the only one. I mean, honestly, if you
hey, you know what, Schlegs? Availability is the most important ability. You were
guys,
willing and able right there. Willing and able to slide you right in there and take up all the blocks so AJ could get all the glory, you know? Why not? We'll talk to – I can't wait. We got to show him that tomorrow. He will love it. It's just – there's a lot of vitriol for something that was 20 years old.
I like it. I'm here for it, guys. We can take it. We can take it.
I don't know what happened that guy's day that's what he decided to land on, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of attitude of gratitude and some positivity for him.
I mean, honestly, you could have body shamed me too. I mean, throw that picture back up there. I body shamed myself back then. And it really scoped the framework. I mean, guys, do we really need to be 251 pounds right there? The answer is no, Schlegs. Okay. Can we look how lean, like you're a big dude, Bob. Like, I mean, you're what, almost 6'4", right? Yeah. Like, and you carry 265. Well, AJ at that time was probably in the low 240s. And look, he had a taper, okay? And he's matured like Benjamin Button as he's gotten older. But like, man, the Schlegs, the keg body with the bowling ball skull and the tiny calves, let's get some work. Like, why? The question would be, how is this guy even a strength coach? Would have been probably a better question. And he couldn't take care of his body 20 years ago.
That's a great point. Hey, Schlegs, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
That's it. Classic pick. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Pat.
It's been a fun one. We're going to come back up and wrap up the show with Schlegs' parting thoughts. All right, Schlegs, final thoughts on this. What is it, July 22nd?
I was going to do something else, but I hope you guys were able to watch Will Kazmarik's interview. And because I was speaking yesterday, Coach Peterson is with a financial group, and I was speaking to him. The question was, how does a team with such competitive excellence, how are guys in that room able to cheer for each other while they also strain to earn the job? And it was the relationship. It was about how they care. They do life with each other. And as you continue to push each other to be the best version of themselves, you're also making yourself the best version of yourself. And that's what's going to set up Will. That's what's going to set up team. I'm really excited how this team plays out. Can't wait for camp and week 1 versus Texas.
Oh, going to be a lot of fun, folks. Stay locked in here. Stay tuned. We'll give you more information. Ohio State, they're all talking today at Big Ten Media Days, so we'll have all the nuggets. It's in Vegas from 1 to 8 because obviously it's a couple hours behind back there, so we'll give you some more of the information and updates coming at you here the rest of this week. Stay locked in here on the Bobby Carpenter Show.